because keep a smile, because I have to enjoy the game. So I will advise any cricketer, rather than thinking about performance, just go and enjoy. Be great for the God, because you are given the participation is more important than having succeed. So I think that's the way it is, because I lived in 18 years in 16 years in 10 to 12 years in hostel. So that was given me a thought that you have to be like, sharing and be happy every time, because there are a lot of problems you'll have, but still you have to be happy. So that's why that teach me to how to play cricket in the latter part of it.
So what do you think made Murali sir great? When they say that there's something that is always there, you played against the greatest of all of the bowlers. What made him so special even while you were playing? Because I remember for a long time, Murali sir used to only bowl the incoming delivery. Eventually, later on, you developed the other bits, and we saw that just with that one ball also, he used to keep on at it. So what was so great about Murali sir as a bowler?
See, just now the way he answered that earlier question, that if an individual is not going to appreciate for what one is able to go out and do, how would the rest of the world appreciate? And that is what mental strength is all about. There are not going to be good times every time you go out. There are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be disappointments. But from those disappointments, how do you rise back, get on your feet and start competing? That makes you a real sportsman. And exactly that is what he possessed. He, like you said earlier, that he just loved bowling. But the whole world knew that he had a big turn. I mean, you make him bowl on a expressway, he is going to turn the ball. No matter how the surface is, Murali is going to turn the ball. And he did not rely only on that. Just with that turn itself, he was a dangerous bowler, because in our meetings we would discuss hours on end how to tackle him, what are the signals to pick, all those things. But he kept reinventing himself.
No, so the signals I want to ask you. You said in an interview how you used to read on the hand.
I'm still figuring out.
No, I will say.
No.
See, definitely, some players read. I know he read me very well, right? Not many people can do. But Lara had success, but he never read me also.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't know what mechanism he did, but he read me, and also few people I know Rahul Dravid is one of the greatest players.
Yes.
He never read me.
Really?
I knew that. So Sachin always, him and Sehwag and those players in Gambhir are like the players. Some players read, some players even later, sometimes they play on that. So it's definitely I am saying he read me, few people read me, and even in my team, some people read and some people doesn't, because some are playing ways are different, because legend like him, he watch from the seam of the ball, from the hand itself. Some people doesn't, they do the pitch.
Of the pitch.
Yes.
And that's where he was. Yes.
So when, like he said, that very few guys read him, but in that also he wanted to develop more things, and if I'm not mistaken, he developed Dusra in the late 90s.
Yes, much later.
Yeah.
And the story that I heard through Harbhajan was, इसने दूसरा डालना तो बहुत पहले सीखा था, मगर वो नेट में प्रैक्टिस करे जा रहा था. So for 18 months he continued practicing दूसरा in the nets before he bowled the first ball in international cricket. And that the reason for that was that he should not lose his original strength, the qualities that he possessed, while continuing to bowl well in test cricket. In that you continue also to develop new things, introduce new things, because you have to, like I said, you continue reinventing yourself. Like how bowler is reading batter's mind, batters are also trying to figure out what the bowler is trying to do. So the combination, and to then plan this, execute, consistently outsmart batters is not easy, and that is what we experience all the time.
and a gentleman who probably didn't care about the pitch, the overcast conditions. He just had a bat in his hand and he used to go 6 balls, 4 sixes only. His name is Sanat Jayasuriya. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have him on stage? For the man who was famous, sir, for your forearms and your grip. We must have that story also. Did you work specially on, every time people saw you, the way you hit the ball, was devastating. So yes, Murli sir is here. I know you're very happy about that, but that story we have to know. Were you always working your forearms so you could smash the bowlers for some 200 meters?
No, I never use. I can't play with a heavy bat like Sachin. My bat is very light.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So just a toothpick smashing 200 meters. Murli sir and you, in the most beautiful phase of Sri Lankan cricket, you've known this film is you. You're all there. And what I love about how this film is also talked about is the entire time when I remember live cricket, Arjun Anandunga put his hand on your shoulder during the entire chucking controversy, and the whole team came together as one. That entire time, and him, I remember there was a very dejected Murli sir walking on TV. I remember watching that also and saying, what's going on? As a unit, was that perhaps like an incredible family, that entire Sri Lankan team that was dominating the world and fighting also and giving a statement? Those years, tell us about that.
Yeah, I think that was the incident for us to make to win the World Cup in 1996. That incident, because in Australia we went through a bad time, and Murli went through a difficult time, and we were all backing him, including captain. And as a team players, we did much as what we can do. And what we can do was, after we came back to Sri Lanka, we went through a difficult time again. And the World Cup was started. There are some teams didn't turn up. India came with the Pakistan to show the world that Sri Lanka is safe. We are always thankful to India for doing that, to come to Sri Lanka. And because of that, we survive our cricket. So it's thank you every time. Our younger generation didn't know sometimes these things what happened in 1996. So when the other teams didn't come, they straight away came from our opening ceremony to Sri Lanka and show the solidarity with the Sri Lankans. So we're thankful to India all the time what you all did for Sri Lanka cricket. And great man is here with us to inaugurate this Murli's thing. And I'm very happy to be here, and a great human being. And when you share the dressing room, very difficult.
I have to ask you this, Sarat sir.
Very, very difficult dressing room. You can't get out. Again, when you get out and come inside the dressing room, you'll have to put the earplugs.
He
and
screams
hiding.
at you?
Yeah. No chance.
Really? Like
No chance.
angry screaming?
He don't want to lose a game. If somebody is batting well, if somebody is throwing a wicket, if somebody getting out, he will come and say all sort of things. He will do everything to how do you get out, you should not do this, you should do this. He is coaching. He will coach the whole thing till the match finish. If you lose the match, you are finished. If somehow win the match, you're all right.
Wow. The smiling assassin, they say. Sanat sir, one more question to you. Did you ever feel bad when you were hammering all the bowlers? Like that poor fellow, his career might be over after your over is over. I want to honestly ask, did you feel bad?
No, you don't feel bad. You just go and play your natural game all the time.
Yeah.
So that's all I do.
Yeah. Sachin sir, did you have a plan for him? What was the team meeting for him? Then what about Kalwatarana and Sanat sir when they were batting? Was there a special meeting there?
100%. I was just telling him that you were discussing World Cup semi-finals, and that is where we ended up discussing for an hour on him and Kalu.
First out.
And first over, both of them got out.
We thought we'd won.
They never got any plans for Arvind and Roshan Manam.
Sanat playing against him. I mean, I saw him first time in 1990 when he was here with the Sri Lankan team. We played in Chandigarh, one test match. He unfortunately got injured and couldn't play that test match. But other than that, like I said, Sanat to have in our dressing room, there were few exhibition games also we played other than IPL. It was nice to have him in our dressing room than the Sri Lankan dressing room.
Yes, you were very hated, sir, as much as
ये
you are loved
ये
today.
बैटिंग को भी बॉक्सिंग ग्लव पहन के आता था बाहर.
Okay, I'm going to play a little game with you in just before one last question I ask you. I'm going to play a little game with you all, which is going to jog your memory as well. Murali sir, I think this is the other side we heard about you, which is in the dressing room side. But how you always maintained this, happy exterior? Because cricket also went through a huge change, and you came back with a vengeance after this entire controversy, and you took so many wickets that, there was always Vaughan versus Murali. Were these things in your head? Were you thinking about these numbers and all? Because after a point in time, it's just the two of you. I think Wasim Akram sir was far back. So it was just the two of you. You'd pass Walsh and you'd passed everybody. Did you all think about it? Because spinners getting these kind of wickets and, you all were dominating the world cricket at that time. Did you think about rivalries?
देश विदेशातील प्रत्येक घडामोडींचे लाईव्ह अपडेट मिळवण्यासाठी आता साम टीव्हीच्या सर्व सोशल मीडिया प्लॅटफॉर्मला लाईक, फॉलो आणि सबस्क्राईब करा. तसंच सर्व नोटिफिकेशनसाठी बेल आयकॉन प्रेस करायला विसरू नका.